Hi there. I just want to do a talk, and this is going to be about frequency. Um, Now, this is something that is still quite new to me, especially the science of frequency, or the made up science. Because everything is made up. I say this a lot, and it is. Even if you're going by science and you're going by equipment, someone has to make the equipment up. So everything's made up. But I want to talk about frequency now. As I say, I'm still quite new to that in terms of the diagrams of it and how it works in time in terms of that. When you find out about this information on the internet. Now, the reason I'm interested in it is because what happened to me was I had an unexpected spiritual awakening at the age of 24, and basically everything is awareness and frequency. But I guess that I'm learning a different. I'm learning through the internet what I'm speaking about. And everything is awareness, but frequencies are that awareness. And you know, regarding the diagram of frequency in terms of the science and everything, this is not the spiritually awake version. This is the science version. Um, Visible light is a tiny part of the spectrum, the electromagnetic spectrum of Earth. That what we can see is actually a tiny part, and it's so much more broader than that, and it's different. Also, it's like what I always say. I just said a moment ago that I explain things. I can explain from it from a perspective of a spiritual awakening, but I'm trying to find out other information so that people that maybe have looked up the science information, they understand what I'm saying, because they might not always understand what I'm saying. You see, because I've went through this awakening, and so that's why it's good that I'm looking up this information so that I can explain it in this format. But to cut a long story short, you've got awareness, and in that awareness is everything's energy, emotion, energy, awareness. But it separates itself. Why does it separate itself? Well, it's that duality thing. Opposites go together. Differences go together. Because that's how you grow and develop. And that's just it. That's what everything is. And so it means that one frequency might be different to another frequency, but they're all part of the same field, you see. And the reason the different frequencies exist is for growth. That's why separation exists. And what is frequency? Well, regarding this information, this is new. This is still quite new to me. The science diagrams and the made-up diagrams, which is everything's made up. This is still quite new to me. Find out this, but in terms of my awakening, what happened to me was when I had the unexpected spiritual awakening, I realized all was just awareness, consciousness. You've got non-consciousness and you've got consciousness, and when you're consciousness, everything is an illusion of separation, and that's kind of like frequency. You've got to learn and grow, and to learn and grow, you've got to have differences, like I say. And that's kind of like what we're learning just now. People have died of coronavirus now. People shouldn't have to die, but that's what's happened, and we're learning from it. That's an example of differences, and this relates to 5G. 5G, at 60 gigahertz. This is a diagram, 60 gigahertz. Now, what it actually does is it's supposed to absorb the air, I think, the oxygen, at 60 gigahertz. Now, there's pictures of it, there's diagrams of it, and it's all over the internet. So if it's all over the internet and there's diagrams of it, then there must be something to it. And you get some people, and they say things like, don't you have a doctor you can talk to? Don't you have a scientist you can talk to? But these people don't understand that these people that they're talking about all work for the system. So you might have a doctor that's got good intentions, but it's like a dark force that is teaching them something. So it's a bit like that movie, The Karate Kid. I think it's the second one, where he goes to this, or is it the third? No, I think it's the third Karate Kid, where he goes to this teacher, and the teacher's just making him rubbish, right? And he thinks he's making him good, and that's kind of like what the system does. System's not going to give you any valuable information. What it's doing is it's making humans at the worst version of themselves. So you got doctors running around thinking drugs are the answer. That's what they want you to think. They don't want you to look for the herb medicine cure for anything. You know, because for every stinging nettle, there's a docking leaf. So that's the way it is. But back to 5G. This is information I found out a few weeks ago. I had a very bad flu cold, a few weeks ago for about over a few weeks. It's ridiculous, is it? People have got a cough now and they're told to stay at home. It's stupid, is it? This coronavirus thing in America, I saw tanks. I mean, for a virus, I mean, that's a bit extreme. I mean, it really is crazy. And people, like I was just saying a moment ago, people say, if you've not got a doctor you can listen to, these people are crazy. It's like they want to hide behind Jesus, or they want to hide behind God. They want to hide behind their religion. They want to hide behind their government. They want to hide behind doctors. And it's like when I was out yesterday, I literally was out in town yesterday and going my day of normal, and I saw fear in people's eyes. I really did see fear in people's eyes. And, there's no fear with me. I've not panicked bought once. But that's what people are. This situation has exposed the people for what they are. And how do you know it's not a hoax? You don't know, because you're seeing everything on television and the media. We don't know anything really, right? We don't know anything for certain. Now, I'm not saying people have died or haven't, but I don't know. It looks like people have died. But you got to ask yourself, why would they want to show you that on Why would they have a television with a news channel showing you all these horrible things? To program your perceptions. To program your mind. Again, it's all to do with frequency. You control the perceptions, you control the frequency of the planet, therefore you could control the planet. And this ignites the reptilian brain. We have a reptilian brain. This is a fact as well. Look it up. We have a reptilian brain, and the reptilian brain is the fear mechanism. Makes you react, and that's what this is igniting. And you got to think, what kind of system would want to do this? Like the Prime Minister was saying to people about a week ago, oh, you're going to lose loved ones, and that's not the case. I haven't lost my family through it. And other people won't have too, but that's to try and put fear. Why would they want to put fear in you? But ultimately, the system, in my opinion, isn't government. It's everything comes by frequency. And the frequency of the planet is distorted. And we're going through a change. And what's happened, you've got the demonic side of the energy scared of the love, you see, because everything's returning to the love and forgiveness and a divine creator, which is love. And that's why there's a reaction, a bit like an exorcism, a bit like a movie when you see The Exorcism. It's reacting this demonic energy. But everything's returned to love, and that's why there's a pandemic, because the energy is reacting, you see. But people have just got to remain calm, as I've been. And also put 5G in the mix also, because at 60 gigahertz it apparently is unlicensed. I've done my research on this on the internet. It's unlicensed, and it microwaves and absorbs and microwaves the oxygen molecules. So it's like if you make something to eat in a microwave, the texture of it is all microwaved. So that's surely not going to be good to breathe in. Someone said to me yesterday on Twitter, oh, but light frequency is supposed to be, or visible light is supposed to be higher than that. But like I said earlier, I've been researching frequency, and visible light is a tiny part of the spectrum, and it's a different type of frequency. right? What the Wi-Fi interacts with our bodies, remember. Radiation interacts with us physically. Visible light might be different. That might just be seeing something. But actually feeling something, that might be a totally different thing. You see what I mean? So it might be one thing to see 60 gigahertz, but to feel it might be different. Just another perspective. But like I say, an idea is one idea. There's billions more on the planet, so what do I know? But I'm just going to leave it there. If you're watching, you're meant to watch it. Everything follows the divine order and divine timing. Thank you for watching.